Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is your home for organic Bible study that's fresh and delicious, locally sourced, responsibly handled. That's why we like to call this the Bible Bistro. The Bible Bistro is open and ready for business today. We're looking at Psalm 76, looking today at verses 6 and 7. If you are interested in fresh and organic study, you've come to the right place because 6 and 7, man alive, these are good. Yesterday we saw that God's excellence and His glory is not dependent upon our victories. He is more glorious and excellent than the mountains of prey. God's excellence, His glory is not dependent on our victories. Today, in 6 and 7, we have this kind of continues really, the idea of this battle that has taken place before the walls of Salem. Verse 6, At thy rebuke, O God of Jacob, both the chariot and the horse are cast into a dead sleep. Thou, even thou, art to be feared. And who may stand in thy sight when once thou art angry? Well, that's a good question, isn't it? We end there with a very good question. Who may stand in your sight when you're angry? Nobody. That's the answer to that question. Nobody. At thy rebuke, O God, both the chariot and the horse. So we're still in this battle scenario. The chariot and the horse are mentioned here, and just like we had the stout-hearted man and the mighty men of might, they've fallen into a sleep. Now the horse and the chariot fall into a dead sleep. So we understand what that means. God has done something here and created a victory for David and for his men. Because it's at his rebuke that this takes place. It's not because David's some great tactician or great general. No, it's because God of Jacob is on the scene, and He's working, just like He's working for you. Verse 7, Thou, even thou, art to be feared. Well, now, who's the thou talking about? Well, we're still talking about God here, aren't we? This whole thing has been about His glory and excellence. His rebuke puts the chariot and the horse to sleep. He is alone to be feared. Thou, even thou, are to be feared. Now, something that I have not mentioned, and I probably should have mentioned before now, we have 5 of these statements about God's greatness in this psalm. First one is there in verse 1. In Judah God has known His name is great in Israel. Then we have verse 4. Thou art more glorious and excellent than the mountains of prey. Now we come to verse 7. Thou, even thou, art to be feared. So God is great, He is glorious and excellent, and He is to be feared. These 3 statements, and we're going to have 2 more. We have 5 sections. There are going to be 2 more of these statements. We're going to have one in verse 9 and one in verse 10. These statements tell us about the wondrous God that we serve. So He's to be feared. And why is He to be feared? Because who can stand in His sight once He's angry? That is, God's will is performed no matter what. He is to be feared. That is, He is to be reverenced. He is to be obeyed. He is to be followed. What He says is His word is true, and it is law. He's not to be treated as some trinket to set up on a shelf. He's not an idol in a closet. No, this is the God who made heaven and earth. And all the earth trembles. And we're going to find it, we're going to see that tomorrow in verse 8. The earth trembles. And if the earth is afraid, then are we not to be afraid? I think we should be. And fear in the sense of respect and knowing that what He says, He's going to bring it to pass. Just like we in our youth respected our elders, our fathers, our mothers. We feared them, not because we were afraid of them, but because we knew that they would do what they said. So God is to be feared. Join me again tomorrow, and we'll look at verses 8 and 9 on Daily Dose Radio.
Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.